Hello. I'm Carl from the Doug and Jeff Show. They hired me to represent them at the 2015 Republican debates, the second one, to be a matter of fact. Well, what I found out was I had a good time. I was in the audience, and it was 3 hours long. You might say it's a little long, but this is what I got out of it to represent that on the Doug and Jeff Show. Take a look.
Now, let's begin.
I'm delighted to be on this stage with some remarkable fellow Republicans. But I'm here to say that I think we are, in fact, the A-team. And in fact, not only are we the A-team, we even have our own Mr. T, who doesn't mind saying about others, you're a fool.
My name is Marco Rubio. I'm from Florida. That's why I made sure I brought my own water.
I'm Ted Cruz, who fled oppression and came to America seeking freedom. I'm the only one on this stage who has done that.
I say not in a braggadocious way. I've made billions and billions of dollars. We get rid of Obamacare, and we have a great life altogether. Thank you.
Carly, you're on.
Good evening. Auto Body Shop. We have come to a pivotal point in our nation's history where this nation's possibilities and potential are being crushed by a government grown so big, so powerful, so inept, so corrupt.
Your party's frontrunner, Mr. Donald Trump, would be dangerous as president. He said he wouldn't want, quote, such a hothead with his finger on the nuclear codes.
You know, I think Mr. Trump is a wonderful entertainer.
You didn't answer my question. Mr. Trump?
Well, first of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. My temperament is very good, very calm.
I think that really goes to the judgment. My goodness, that happened in junior high.
Mr. Trump?
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you. Obviously, I'm doing pretty well. I'm number one in every polls by a lot. Everything I've done virtually has been a tremendous success.
This is what's wrong with this debate. Mr. Trump, we don't need an apprentice in the White House. We don't know who you are or where you're going. We need someone who can actually get the job done. And you talked about business.
Well, in Wisconsin,
let me finish.
Excuse me.
Let me talk about
in
this.
Wisconsin, you're losing $2.2 billion right now.
You're using
I
the
would
talking.
do so much better than
Mr.
that.
Trump.
Business leader has used the I never went bankrupt, by the way, as you know, everybody knows. But when the folks of Iowa found out the true facts of the job that you've done in Wisconsin, all of a sudden you tubed. He was number one. Now he's number 6 or 7 in the poll. So, look, we brought it out. You were supposed to make $1 billion in the state. You lost 2.2. You have right now a huge budget deficit. That's not a Democratic point. That's a point. That's a fact. And when the people of Iowa found that out, I went to number 1, and you went down the tubes.
Governor Walker?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take this out. Because this is an issue that's important in this race. Just because he says it doesn't make it true.
Every morning I get up, I vetoed 400 bills.
He wanted casino gambling in Florida. Yes, you did.
Totally false.
You wanted it, and you didn't get it because I was opposed to casino gambling before, during, and after. And that's not, I'm not going to be bought by any.
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
More energy tonight. I like that.
We said no.
Wrong.
We said no.
Wrong. Yeah.
Don't cut me off.
Come
sir.
on. Don't make things.
Jake, can I say something about that?
Sure, Dr. Carson.
You know, when I entered this race...
Senator Cruz, Governor Kasich says that anyone who is promising to rip up the Iran deal on day one, as you have promised to do, is, quote, inexperienced and, quote, playing to a crowd. Respond to Governor Kasich, please.
You better believe it.
And Jake, for the question, I was one of the first ones to call for terminating the bad deal with Iran on day one. The president came after me and said I needed to bone up.
I want to turn to Governor Huckabee, who has been very patient. Somebody had to be 11th, and he is toilet paper.
Ask me as well. I'd like to actually
go ahead, sir. That would be fair. You're right.
Respond
You're right. You're the third senator.
I think I'm the first senator.
On this stage not that long ago, Senator Graham said that this tactic that you're pushing would tank the Republicans' ability to win in 2016.
Well, let me tell you, Dan, number one, I'm proud to stand for life. These Planned Parenthood videos are horrifying. I would encourage every American to watch these videos.
Why haven't we repealed and replaced Obamacare? Make him veto if that's what he wants to do. And why don't we do the same thing with Planned Parenthood? We elected a Republican Congress to do this.
You have not heard a plan about Iran from any politician up here. Here's my plan.
There's something bigger to this. Now, I'm the president.
Thank you, Governor.
And go forward and actually make a point.
Thank you,
this
Governor.
Is why people are...
Last week in Rolling Stone magazine, Donald Trump said the following about you, quote, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of our next president?"
If I get elected, first day, they're gone. Gangs all over the place. Chicago, Baltimore, no matter where you look. We have a country based on laws.
We need to take the fingerprint of every person.
Quote, "People who say that have no idea what this entails." Why do you say that, Dr. Carson?
Well, first of all...
And I hope you apologize for that, Donald.
This is a country where we speak English, not Spanish.
Well, I've been speaking English here tonight, and I'll keep speaking English.
Okay, from the horse's mouth. Senator Cruz, does that fit your definition of amnesty?
Well, Jake, you know, I'm very glad that Donald Trump's being in this race. Biometric exit entry
Thank you,
system.
Senator.
And the Department of Justice said, no, we don't want to do that. That's too successful.
We're going to take care of those babies for 70, 75, 80, 90 years? I don't think so.
Why is it pandering when he says this?
First, let me say we have just spent a good bit of time discussing as Republicans how to solve this problem. Why have Democrats not solved this problem? Because the Democrats don't want this issue solved.
Ms. Fiorino.
They want it to be an issue.
But some of the greatest scholars agree with me.
You would stipulate, Mr. Trump, that not everyone agrees with you.
That's true.
Personal back and forth about the history of Donald and Carly's career. You could care less about your careers. Carly, listen, you can interrupt everybody else on the stage, you can't interrupt me, okay?
But let's just stop for a second. There's one person on this stage that does have a record.
I've been listening to everybody on the stage, and there's a lot of back and forth about I'm the only one who's done this, the only one who's done that.
I'm the only one on the stage who's actually got a plan, introduced an actual plan.
I've done great things. We've all done great things or we wouldn't be on this stage.
Why is raising the federal minimum wage lame?
On day one, we're repealing Obamacare. To repeal Obamacare on day one, I'll send a bill up to Congress and to make sure they actually enact it.
Thank you, Governor. Governor Walker didn't really answer the question, but I'll let you respond.
That issue, because you said I did answer, and I did.
And the question is, who's going to prosecute Hillary Clinton?
Can I make a response to that? Just excuse me 1 second,
Can I make
if you
a
don't mind,
response to
Rand.
that?
You know, you are on last, you do have your 1%. What I said was you're going to destabilize the Middle East, and that's what happened. Now, there's a lot of great people up here, and you've heard a lot of great ideas out there.
And the most dangerous person in any room is the person who doesn't know what he doesn't know, who doesn't know what he does not know.
Thank you, Governor.
I want the men and women at home to know.
Everyone has gotten to weigh in on this military issue. I'd like to be able to do the same. We have spent probably 12 minutes talking about the past. Let's talk about the future. We need the strongest military on the face of the planet, and everyone has to know it. And specifically what that means is we need about 50 Army brigades, we need about 36 Marine battalions, we need somewhere between 300 and 350 naval ships, we need to upgrade every leg of the nuclear triad, we need to restore the Department of Defense.
Do you like what you just heard, Senator Cruz?
And for that reason, I was honored to be endorsed by Gun Owners of America as the strongest supporter of the Second Amendment on this stage today, and I will fight every day to defend the Bill of Rights.
Harvard and Dartmouth says that Social Security is going to go insolvent in 7 to 8 years.
You know, you can measure the climate. You can measure it. That's not the issue we're discussing. Here's what I'm skeptical of. I'm skeptical of the decisions that the left wants us to make.
And I'm going to echo what Senator Rubio just said.
Before I throw to Anderson, let's have one final round of applause for the candidates.